Hello everyone, quick video here. Some of you asked that I make a video once my book is published explaining what it's about, and I finally finished it. And the paperback and ebook versions are all live on Amazon, so here you go. So let me first explain why I made this book and the events that led up to it. As a lot of you know, I've been practicing meditation and astral projection for over 10 years now. And something I've not mentioned yet is that actually, during most of that time, I never told anyone about my experiences or knowledge. I literally didn't tell anyone, even close friends and family. And I didn't even tell friends who were interested in spiritual topics too. I just didn't reveal anything. I felt like my experiences were mine, my own intimate experiences, just for me. That's how much I valued and cherished this ability that I discovered. I didn't want to dishonor it or do it injustice by describing it to others with my limited human language. I guess I sort of developed some belief as well that if I tell people, I won't have as many experiences. I worked so hard to get those experiences. But yeah, that's really ultimately just a self-limiting belief, one of many we can form. So yeah, it was actually only up until around 6 months ago, amidst the pandemic, that I became more public, publishing small articles and experiences in order to help others during a time where everyone is forced into solitude and introspection. So yeah, out of those 10 years, I've only been public about it in the last 6 months. And since becoming public, to my surprise and gratefulness to help people, I received hundreds of questions from people struggling with the same practices of meditation, lucid dreaming, astral projection, the works. And I was surprised to see how many people were really lost. So, yeah, this book is dedicated to those people, to you guys who are on the path and seeking help. And I sincerely hope the book does just that. Okay, so the book is called Beyond Dreaming, a guide on how to astral project and how the awakening of consciousness is synonymous with lucid dreaming and astral projection. I'll put some screenshots of the table of contents on the screen now, which is from the paperback version. So this book aims to address all those common questions I got from people, and still do, of course, and to transmit my knowledge for the purpose of practical understanding of astral projection. Okay, the focus on the book is practical, meaning it's a book to be read mindfully and contemplatively with your own intuition. This is not a book that scientifically or intellectually debates or speculates about astral projection. I do give a few scientific references in the book, but generally speaking, the book is about helping others to practice and realize some of the information given in the book. So that hopefully through mindfulness and consideration, it will aid and complement your own practices and experiences. To quote myself, as I mention in the book, through practical understanding alone, we get rid of the need for ineffective methods and complex practices which harbor self-doubt, often seen in books which promise quick results through techniques backed by little explanation. When we instinctively comprehend the mechanics behind out-of-body experiences, we adopt our own intuitive practice. With that said, I do provide several methods and exercises in the book, each one doing the best I can to explain how it works. As you know from my videos, I like to explain in depth about all this phenomena of non-physical states of consciousness, right? Rather than just telling you the surface layer of things like, hey, to astral project from a lucid dream, just fly. But no, I always do my best to explain it, even though it is challenging. It's one thing to be a skilled astral projector and a completely other skill to be able to teach it effectively through intellectual words. As I said before, spoken human language is all but a vain attempt to describe the indescribable. Another big focus you'll see in the book is that it emphasizes how dreaming while asleep is no different from when we daydream while awake. Similar to my previous videos, it explores how the average person lives in a perpetual dreamlike state throughout their entire lives, and this tendency to be dreamy often has a strong hold over our awareness, both while we're awake and also while we're asleep. So you'll see this topic emphasized in different ways throughout the book because, frankly, it is key in understanding how to go beyond the layers of subconscious perception in order to reach more objective states of consciousness. So the book is simply about walking the path of astral projection in a wholesome and natural way, which is synonymous with the awakening of consciousness. Okay, so I'll keep it short. If you want to read a bit more about the description of the book, simply check it out on Amazon. All the links to buy the book are in the description below. Just choose your country's Amazon. And if I've missed out on your country, just simply go to your country's Amazon and type Beyond Dreaming by Gene Hart. Oh, and also, I have a favor to ask. If any of you decide to buy the paperback version, I would really be grateful if you could take some nice pictures of it for me. The pictures on the screen were taken by someone else who bought it. Amazon basically ships it out next day delivery, I believe. That's how they got it so fast. But yeah, I'm asking for pictures because I can't get my hands on a physical copy, which I'm annoyed about because I live in Korea. I'll most likely be here for several years as well. So, I was doing all that hard work to finish the book and couldn't wait to get my hands on the physical copy for that feeling of satisfaction and, just for a souvenir. But I can't. So if any of you could send me pictures, that would be awesome. Oh, and if anyone could leave a review on Amazon after your purchase, that would be great. I deliberately priced it at the lowest that I could to at least give myself a bit of support. A big portion of the money goes towards Amazon, and authors only take a relatively smaller percentage. I would never extortionately price resources that give out this kind of knowledge. I'm completely against that because this knowledge should be freely accessible to all people during this time and era in the modern world. Okay, so if you have any questions about the book, just let me know in the comments below. And I really hope it helps whoever decides to buy the book. Thank you, and subscribe if you haven't already, as I will be releasing more videos about different methods that you can use to reach the astral plane. Thank you.